Hello, welcome to Pandas lectures. This is Introduction to Python. Python for R and data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence with 500 days run dataset. So I'm going to be taking you through what we are going to be covering in the next 500 days, but particularly this time we will focus on 360 days from 1st April 2024. This will go up to 1st April 2025. So, what are we going to be talking about? Uh, this is office hours. So, every day at this time to from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. we will be having these office hours to share with you briefly what you would like to know, the question that you have, and so on. Today specifically, I will be taking you through what we are going to be covering in this program. So I'm going to share with you my screen. So basically, this is our curriculum. This program will be going. For the past 8 weeks, we are going to look at introduction to data science with Python and R. So for the first, in module 1, we're going to look at introduction to Python, to data science with Python and R. And this one is strictly for beginners who are new in data science. You have not done data science before, you don't know anything to do with programming. We're going to begin from here. Or if you want to upskill your knowledge in data science, definitely you're in the right place. So this one specifically will take about 8 weeks, and this course is strictly online. So as I said, every weekdays we will be having office hours from 1900 to 2000. On weekends, we'll begin from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. East African time. So by the end of the module, participant will have a fundamental understanding of data science principle and be proficient in using Python and R for data analysis and visualization. So the learning objectives are as follows. One, you will be able to understand the basic concepts and principles of data science. You'll be able to install and we will be able to install and set up Python and R environments for data analysis. Then we are going also to learn the fundamentals of programming in Python and R, including variables, data types, control structures, and functions. So we are going to be looking at in these first 8 weeks. Then we'll look at exploratory data manipulation, or you can explore data manipulation and analysis techniques using libraries such as Pandas and dplyr in R. So Pandas will be using in Python, we'll be using NumPy also in Python. And then we will look at how to visualize data effectively using Matplotlib, Seaborn in Python, then also ggplot2 in R. So you'll be able also to understand the basics of statistical analysis and hypothesis testing. So along the way, you will be having weekly quizzes to assess your understanding of the concepts covered. You'll be having coding assignments to elevate your proficiency in Python and R programming. And the final project where you will apply your skills to analyze a real world data set and present the findings. So the cool thing about this course is that we are using real world data set, and these data sets are the one I've collected myself. So we'll be using the 500 days run data sets which I collect every day. So this is the data set that we will be using in this course entirely. So I'm collecting this data in set. This is the second set. So it is set as 500 days. So this is set 2, which we already on. Set 1 has been completed successfully. The first 500 days. Now I'm in set 2, and today is 135 days of 500 that I went and collected the data. So mostly I have the days, the route that I ran on. So we have routes from 1 up to route 10. So there are different routes. The activity can be running, can be resting, time trial, sick, injured, missed, or computation. So those are the different variables that we collect under activity based on each day. So we have the date, the event has occurred, the start time that I start running, the end time that I end running, the distance I cover on that specific day, the average pace that I cover on that specific day. And in seconds, this one is in minutes, and then this one is in seconds. So this is 3 minutes 40 seconds per kilometer. This one, if you convert this, is give you 220 seconds per kilometer. So the timer, how long does it take to complete that particular distance? And also, this one is in hours, this one is in seconds. The active time in hours, the move minutes in minutes, the art points and the steps that I've made throughout the distance, and the energy expanded in calories. Then the comments at the end of the day, how was my feeling, how was I feeling, or how did I feel during the run. So these are the data that we will be using to teach these practical lessons so that you can understand the industry standards of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So it's going to be a very interesting course. You have to bear with me. I'm also a learner just like you, so there's nothing to worry about. It is going to be very interesting. You'll be able to ask questions, share your thoughts, and also, yeah, share with your friends anything that you don't understand. You can ask them, or be able to respond to you. So every day, I will be here to share with you this experience. So all in all, what we are going to cover is we have a module 1, which is Introduction to Data Science with Python and R. And then module 2, we will look at statistical measures. Module 3, we will look at data acquisition and cleaning. Module 4, we will look at exploratory data analysis. In module 5, future engineering. Module 6, we will look at introduction to machine learning. Module 7, we will look at module building and evaluation. Module 8, we will look at deep learning. In module 9 we look at module deployment. And then module 10, gathering and pre-processing the 500 days run data set. So we'll be gathering our 500 days data set and pre-processing it. In module 11, we look at exploratory data analysis with the 500 days run data set. First, we would have looked at the basics. Now we look at the practical application of exploratory data analysis. Then in module 13, we will be building our predictive models with the 500 days run data set. And then we'll look at the real world applications and case studies that you can embark on. Then conclusion and next step, we will share, review and summarize key concepts and techniques which we have covered in the course, including data acquisition, pre-processing, exploratory data analysis, model building and deployment, and then also reflect on the personal learning experiences and identify areas of strength and areas for improvement in data science and machine learning skills, and so on. So that is it. We will be having the assessment where you each week, and at the end of each module, we'll be having the assessment. So this assessment is meant for you to understand the criteria and expectation for each assessment component, including the quizzes and projects and presentations that you have been given, and so on. So that is all about the course outline, what you will be looking at. But specifically for the first week, uh, this is the areas that we are going to be looking at. So tomorrow we are going to begin the practical applications where we talk about how to install and set up Python and R environment for data analysis. And then we will begin learning the fundamentals of programming in Python and R, where we'll talk about the variables, the data types, the control structures, and the functions. And all these, we are going to be using this data that we are collecting as an example. So everything is going to be practically based. So we are using real world data set to teach the concept so that we will understand the building blocks from scratch up to the finished project. You know how to begin from, where to start, and where to go, the next step to follow, and so on. So we are using real world data set, the 500 days run fast track challenge data to take this course in all examples, illustrations, that in each concept that you will be learning. Interesting, right? So you too, you can collect this data yourself. If you need this data, you can collect it yourself. If you have a smartphone, so you can just install. I'm using app. I'm using two different apps. I'm using Google Fit apps app, and then I'm also using Runkeeper. So this data specifically are from Google Fit app that I collect, and the one we are going to be using. So talked about variable, when we talked about data types, when we talked about list, we will be using all these to make our learning practical and engaging and meaningful, not just picking data from anywhere, because I believe if you're dedicated, you can collect this data and you understand it better. That means you can understand even the concept much better. You have collected it yourself, you understand what you're collecting, so it will become easier for you to understand the concept of programming itself, the concept of data science, the concept of machine learning, and when we are working with algorithms or building the algorithms, you can easily understand your data. So that is the most important thing in this course. So this was the first data set that I collected for the past 500 days. It's part of the data that we are going to be using. This one is set one that I collected between 7th July 2022 up to 18th November 2023. So set 2 began on 19th November 2023, and it will go up to 1st April 2025. So that is the last day that I will be collecting data for set 2. Then we will move to set 3. So that is all what I do. Every morning that I wake up, I engage in this data before I go for work. Other work. So that have made it a priority. I've dedicated myself to do this. So in the past 500 days, I ran for 401 days. That is equivalent to 80.2%. So that is the level of consistency that I gave in the first, say, the first 500 days. It was so engaging, so difficult, full of challenges, but I endured. However, I was hit by injury seriously, where about 97 days I spent sidelined due to injury. So only 2 days I was able to miss. Those 2 days I was supposed to run, but I just felt lazy and did not go for it. So that is 0.4%. So that means the first 500 days has been really very productive, except the injury that came in really made it difficult for me. So we'll be using this data to build our model, and we will be able to find out how you can improve over time if you do something consistently. So I'm also using this data to chart the path to success. What does it take for someone to be successful in whatever you do? So it's part of what I'm working on. Yeah, it's in progress. So that means by the end of set 2, we'll have something more important, very interesting to learn from based on this journey that I engage on a daily basis. So the work plan, here is my work plan for set 2. So as I made mention before, I have different routes. So I have route 1 up to 10. So route 1 is 5 kilometers, but I changed it in phase 2. In phase 1, route 1 was 5 kilometers, route 2, 3 kilometers, route 3, 7 kilometers, route 4, 4 kilometer, route 5, 8 kilometer, route 6, 15 kilometer, route 7, 12 kilometer, and route 8, 6 kilometer, route 9, 21 kilometers, and then route 10 is 2 kilometers. However, when I started, okay, like first one, I got sick for about 20 days, was sidelined with sickness. So in route 6 and 7, I got sick. So for about some 2 3 weeks, I was down, I couldn't run. But I came back and continued. So all these route one, phase one is completed. I'm now in phase 2, route 4, which is on progress. So the changes that I made was on route 1 where I interchanged with route 2. So route 1 became, I started 3 kilometers, and then route 2, 5 kilometers. I went to route 3, 7 kilometers, and now I'm route 4, which is 4 kilometers. After completing the next 5 days, so I will begin, after 5 days, I will be beginning route 5, which is 8 kilometer distance. So this is my work plan. I follow strictly to make this course a success. So far, I have covered a distance based on my work plan. I've covered a distance of 545 kilometers, which is equivalent to 438 miles. So after completion of set 2, the target is to cover 4,150 kilometers, which is about equivalent to 2,579 miles. If all goes as planned, so that is the distance I am supposed to cover. So this is my work plan. Based on my work plan, you can also do yours and you see how it goes. So that is it for today. It's supposed to go up to 8, but yeah, for today we are ending it here. That is all what we will be covering. So stay tuned always, and let's make this course a wonderful course. Bye bye.